What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Exciting day today. Right now I just pulled into a new piece of ground that I'm going to be able to hunt this fall. So as you guys know, I mainly hunt Pennsylvania, and I hunt a lot on free permission property, public land, and then my dad's place. Going into this fall, I was really looking for some ideas for some more content, and I decided, since I'm not too far from New York, I wanted to get into New York and figure out how to hunt, because it adds a lot more season that I can hunt, adds a lot more tags, and just more opportunity to hunt and create content for you guys. So what I decided to do is I've been searching around for the past couple months, all winter really, after rifle season. I've been asking around and looking around for a piece of ground that I can basically plant food plots on, modify a little bit, and kind of have as like a little honey hole that's gonna be dynamite this coming hunting season. There's a couple reasons I wanted what I'm about to show you instead of coming up and hunting public land. One is just a time perspective. I just don't have enough time between full-time work and all that to handle Pennsylvania and New York. On the other hand, I always have a really slow period during the summer when there's no real hunting season going on to make videos, because I don't have a lot of content. And I think that this is gonna prove to be a good avenue to keep videos flowing to you guys and really have fun myself through this summer. So basically where we're at here is I found a guy with about 100 acres, and it's basically abandoned. The guy owns a bunch of different timberland properties, and basically I worked out a deal with him so that I can hunt it, and I'm gonna be able to plant food plots. I can't cut down trees or whatever, but I can cut brush. And I was looking for something really like this, because since I can't cut trees, I want something with a lot of cover to it. And this is a pretty good looking spot. We're not gonna be shooting 200-inch deer here, and that's not the goal. I really just wanted a spot that I can bring people like, Emily, if she wants to come up and hunt, bring friends who don't have as much hunting experience, or buddies that do have a lot of hunting experience, and we just want to come up and have a good time. We're gonna hunt it smart, hopefully lay it out smart, and I kind of want your guys' input on it. And today is gonna be an exploration day. So I've only walked this about 2 times, and not even all of it, when there was no lie, almost 2 or 3 feet of snow up here. And I haven't got a really good chance to dissect it. So I'll kind of show a map of the property and guide us through the little tour of it as we discover it, and kind of lay out what I'm thinking that we might do this summer to make it very huntable this fall. And we'll see what we get into. I think it's gonna hold some good spots, and I'm excited to check this out. Let's get to it. So overall, this property is relatively flat for the area we're in. We're kind of up on a big hill, and there's not a lot of active agriculture around here. Most of the properties that I've seen driving around the block are kind of look like this, abandoned, kind of fields going back to regeneration. We're not in like a really great deer hunting quality area of the state per se, but I think that if I supply food here, property is gonna be like a magnet to the surrounding neighborhood, and we're really gonna be able to hold a lot of animals as long as you don't blow them off. Right when you pull in, there's this access road to a gas pipeline, and it pretty much cuts the property straight down the middle. It's gonna be super convenient for me because I'm laying out this entire property without any kind of equipment. Maybe a 4-wheeler if I borrow my Gramps and get it up here, but we're really just gonna create all these food plots and hang all these stands and do all this stuff just by hand. Anyways, on the right side of the road, there's a nice big open field, and I really like this spot. I want to plant maybe like 2 acres of brassicas in here, and I want this to be kind of the big plot that kind of lasts the whole time. It's really neat because the way the field lays, you can't see it from the road. Down in here behind me on the other side of the road is old pasture ground, and there's a lot of red maple coming up in it, and there's a few isolated apple trees that you can't really hunt them because there's no trees around. So we'll have to see if they get apples this fall or not. Maybe do a little ground hunting, but I think their deer are gonna bed a lot in here early season. Let's head down into that pasture and see what we got. I think that this could be the early season hotspot. This looks pretty sweet. It looks pretty similar to when all the snow is here, but you gotta imagine in the fall This is all goldenrod down through, and this is gonna be, you know, belly button, chest high. I think a lot of deer are gonna bed on that bench early season, and I was thinking about putting right in this area, maybe an early season plot, maybe another acre, something with brassicas. I could definitely set up in these pine trees with a tree stand and have access, literally just pop from the road in, hunt right here, and maybe make it like a strip food plot, I was thinking, so that they'd come out of that hill. There's a creek down there, so they come out into the strip food plot and then transition up to that big field up there. I do want to take a better look in here. There's like this, I don't know, this must have been an old farm, obviously, and they planted this kind of cool section of pines here. It's maybe an acre, it looks like, from Google Images, in between these white pine. And I'm not entirely sure what's all in here. I was thinking about putting a food plot in here because it would be really cool looking, but I'm not sure if people could see it from the road relatively easily. That's cool. There's 2 apple trees right here. And that's actually pretty neat because I could just see this, like, you could almost set a stand literally almost just off the road. This tree, I guarantee you see some traffic. And look, there's actually a nice trail coming in under this. If this has apples, this could be a dynamite spot. What do you think, guys? Should I put food plot on that side of the pines? Or should I put it inside here on this side of the pines? I might not even need a food plot here because of the apple trees, but maybe I could put a stand on the lower end here. Either way, this is a pretty cool spot. We don't have to lay it all right now. We're just exploring. Let's continue on here. Here's something interesting. I'm down here on this lower corner and looks like we got an old tree stand in here. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna be coming around for this one anytime soon. But nice, this is actually kind of a cool little ravine. And I had a feeling that deer would travel this. Here's a trail right here, kind of hugging this ravine, going across the road. And I bet that this is a good little, could be a good rut trail where they're transitioning between this piece of woods and that piece of woods down there. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. There is another tree stand up here. Probably shouldn't have climbed this thing because it looks a little like it's been here for a couple years. Dude actually left his scope covers here, it looks like. But this actually looks like a pretty good little rifle spot. You can see that ravine good, and you can see where this ridge starts to come down and transition. There's also another clearing here. I thought about putting some kind of food plot in, and just to get these deer to really, they're already using it, but just to enhance their use and really make them funnel down through this funnel. So we're kind of at the heart of the property right now. This is all old pasture, it looks like, and there's a lot of, it's somewhat open, you can see, depending where you're at. There's little pockets of brush, a lot of poplar, mature poplar, and a lot of maple, maybe in like the 8 to 10 inch range. We'll have to see what it looks like. Obviously early fall, this is all going to be leafed out and you won't be able to see up there. There's actually a lot of beech in here and they hold their leaves pretty long, but we're about to pop out to one of the cool features of this piece of ground. So this right here could be, I'm kind of excited for. I'm worried that I'm gonna blow this whole property up by doing it, but really want to put some brassicas in here. This is like a gas pad in the middle of the property. I think if I can have enough food, in here to last, combining that stuff out front, it might be to kind of support these backwoods here. The owner actually hunted here 3 times. Each time they shot a buck. I think they shot 2 bucks off of that water tank up there. There's a ladder up it, and they climbed up it and then pushed that front timber back, and I think they shot 2 bucks. I think if we put a rifle stand in one of those trees over there, one of those poplars, we're gonna be able to cover all this with a muzzleloader or a rifle. And there's actually a pipeline that cuts through the last chunk of timber back here. I've walked through that. It's kind of just mixed hardwoods back in that corner along the ridge. There is another opening up top that might be a good rut spot, depending. I might go put a mock scrape up there and see what kind of action that gets, but it's going to be really tough to access without blowing off this whole side hill if I have food plot in here. This back here is thicker than that ridge, so hopefully the majority of the deer bed in here and I can sneak in there, but I really want to be careful because no matter where I set up, my wind's gonna be blowing deer off the property somewhere. So I hope that I can skirt around this and hunt the edges in the mornings or hunt out front in the evenings or whatever. But just having a food source in the middle here is gonna keep a lot of deer on this property during the daylight. Let's walk back out the pipeline. I think this pipeline is gonna be probably a pretty good rifle stand location because as you can see on the aerial, there's a big brush field behind this property and it's gonna cause the deer to funnel through this timber here. So I think it'd be ideal to maybe probably in that hard maple right there, you can cover literally this entire chunk of woods if anything comes in or out. There's a lot of thermal cover back in this corner, this general area. And when I was here with all the snow the last time, this is where a majority of the deer sign was. Okay guys, so this spot I have really high hopes for in here. This I think is gonna make a dynamite kill hole on the way from all that bedding that we just walked through out to the main food plots here. And probably sneak into one of these trees, one of those trees, and hopefully the deer would come right out of from where we just came out, right in here. Blam, we shoot them right here at 20 yards on their way out to there. And then after dark, we can just, without spooking any deer, drop down, back out, head down the field, and never even touch the middle of the property. And you can see this is maybe 1/3 of an acre and perfect size. I think if we throw in some rye, some oats, something of that nature, throw a tree stand there. There's a creek. The creek is right here on the outfall of this guy's pond. And I really like the looks of this one here. Now we're getting kind of close to the end here, but right before what I want to make the big destination plot, this nice little grove of red oaks, and I don't think they bared last year because I don't see a lot of fresh hulls or anything. So maybe they will produce this year, but between those kill plots, these oaks, and if I put like an acre or two out here of something, I think that we're really gonna draw a lot of deer out of that corner up to here. Now this right here is where I'm gonna put the biggest food plot of all of them, just because that's where the space is. It's maybe like a 5-acre field. Obviously I'm not gonna plant all of that, but I think if I plant a pretty good chunk here of late season brassicas, turnips, something of that nature, I can put a stand in one of those trees in order to take does out with the muzzleloader or the rifle or whatever, and it's really just gonna hold a lot of deer. It's not gonna be a big hunting plot because I don't want to blow deer off it all the time, but I think if I really put a lot of forage out front here, all those apple trees and that cover down through that creek, and all of this bedding back in here is gonna be supported by this. And we can throw a stand in one of these trees up here and deer will never know we're there until they get shot. Well guys, that's pretty much the property in a nutshell, and the project we're going to be working on over this coming summer. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys to death. Let me know if you kind of like this video and if I should make more relating to creating all the different stuff here. Just let me know in the comments how you like it and if it's a good idea or a terrible idea, and kind of your guys' thoughts on how I was thinking of laying it out. I'm a little bit nervous. I hope I didn't bite off more than I can chew here, but we'll work at it. I think it could turn into something, some pretty good hunting this fall. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.